until you get money out of using AI, nobody will take it seriously. Is
Sure.
used most of the places to reduce internal workforces.
What we can do is we can start with a quick introduction because we are meeting for the first time. I
Yes, yes.
think you already connected with Sudhanshu, but I'll give a quick introduction of mine and then maybe we can have yours as well. Right. I currently work at EY as a associate consultant into data and AI team here. Other than that, I write some blogs and record these kind of conversations.
Okay,
And
good.
today, the whole plan is to have conversation around this enterprise level applications, so that we can understand what differentiate enterprise level application and how are they built, how do enterprises work in GenAI especially. And this is the overall agenda that we have planned so far.
Okay.
But before that, maybe a quick introduction from your side.
Yeah, so I have a
Yeah.
bit varied and vast experience. Like I did work in my career start. I started my career in Air Force. So I was in Air
Okay.
Force. So I was in missile branch, then aircraft like helicopter squad, and then internally moved to IT. So basically, I worked there in IT around 8 to 9 years. So it was software development center in Delhi and Bangalore. Basically, I worked on a lot of like mission critical systems. So it was software engineering. It was mix of things like I did work in full stack development. It's not like full stack, every stack you can say, since team was
Right.
small. And it's like startup type of environment, so we used to work in system, also used to work in programming databases and everything whatever comes. Like there's no specific rule, it was there. Then I moved out. I took voluntary retirement from there. Uh, it's around 2017. Then moved to Oracle. There I was senior software engineer. Then I did work there like as like same startup type of environment, different stuff, tooling and data analytics, sometimes data science also. Then I moved to Capgemini. There I worked as a lead data scientist. I did work a lot there. Many systems like clients were very good. And mostly I started my GenAI journey from there only. 2020 June, I remember, like Llama release that time, July Llama release. And
Yeah.
that time the first software we built in, and one of the client was there. That is US major, I can't take name. So for that we started and it was very successful. Like it went to production within 4 5 months and it was very successful. Then simultaneously, like parallelly, I worked in many GenAI system. And after that I moved out from there, and right now I'm in NTT Data. Here also, like I'm as a senior architect here, cloud security and AI. Like it's mixed type of thing. It's not like role is very fuzzy most of the places. Like if you know AI, you'll be doing AI, Gen AI, you'll be doing cloud also, you'll be doing something related to different stuff. So this is what about myself.
So,
Yeah.
when you started at Air Force, was that a typical government job that you had?
It is not a typical government job. I can't say a lot of stuff about that because of many reason. I have
Yeah.
NDA and all those
Right.
things. So it is more of like I did work a lot in field and
Okay.
missile, then helicopter squad, and then I was very good in IT. So I used to build a lot of system for them, like small software. Then they took 1 month of my interview. Interview is not like one day. 1 month they bring it from all the places and select from there 4 5 people, and I was lucky enough to get into that. So it was a lot of IT, and it was very rigorous type of, you can say, startup type of environment, because like deadlines are very tight, and since it requires mission critical type of things, like operational stuff, so you can't say like government type of thing. Anything what we build that has value in terms of strategic, in terms of human value. So it was a bit, I can say, I did last 8 7 8 year I am in corporate, but that was much more tougher job than corporate. Corporate has different thing, but that is much more tougher in terms of technical part. So,
Right. I think I remember one of my friends used to work at IAF
okay.
as some, I think, IT role, I believe, and they were not allowed to bring any mobile
Yes.
phones or internet there.
Yes. No,
Right.
no mobile phone, no internet. So it is just like, okay, I mean, I can't go with the mobile. We don't have any internet, so anything what we used to develop it, books. And if some doubt is there, sometimes we'll go to home, and that time we'll take this the help of
Yeah.
all Stack Overflow. That time Stack Overflow even nothing was there. So Google is also like not like so much of mature enough that time. YouTube
Right.
was also not that much. Okay, so it was good. I mean, it instilled a lot of things like you can say stuff that is. I still remember a lot of syntax. I did work a lot in Java that time, Java, Oracle, and
Right.
all those parts. So I still remember all the syntax because of all I repeat it. It muscles memory. If you take like any software, even cloud
Mm-hmm.
also, AI also, people used to build things like hackathon. Sometimes you have
Yeah.
POC, proof of concept,
Yep.
MVP type of thing. So when we build a POC, MVP, we know we don't need to scale. I mean, we don't need to care about anything related to what is there in like different system, different teams, because you're building your own everything and running it your system and showing it, and it works perfectly fine. But the moment
Right.
if you move to enterprise, it starts from the first phase itself, like requirement. Either you get client requirement, or you are doing some innovation type of things, like you are building certain things showing it to client, and client is happy with that and they want to take it forward and build it like complete system. So whatever is there, suppose I build POC MVP, I want to make it like enterprise ready right now, and client is ready to pay me. So things start from the data phase. Okay, right now take it example of, like, I'll not take example of cloud or AI, machine learning. I'll take example of AI engineering, what we are doing it right now,
Right.
GenAI stuff. So suppose a system that needed data, maybe we are using RAG, or maybe we are using agentic application, multi-agentic application. It is connecting to different system. So every company has their own legacy system. Problem is legacy
Okay.
system infrastructure that has different team maintaining that one. It has their own security requirement, all this firewall ruling, uh, need basis sharing. Even it is not supposed to be shared. That we faced a lot sharing data when we started GenAI first part. Okay, but we were
Yeah.
lucky because we were first to get into that, and we got after that we a lot of restriction applied because of this data leak and all those part. So that is the most
Right.
challenging part, getting information, getting connecting, I mean connecting to different sources. Because like suppose we are using agentic, we are building agentic application that is using some databases, so that need to
Right.
be connected. We are not supposed to get, because AI is involved. So for AI there will be governance. For every company there will be governance, so governance will be
Right.
like they will be allowing that one. So when we start with the first phase data, and then going forward, moving into that, like all the requirement clear, I mean we say, I mean, requirement is clear for you or not, like we are connecting to this data, we are connecting to that data, and after that this is the SLA requirement, like
Yep.
this is the latency we need, this is the availability, I mean all this NFR requirement, all those need to be aligned. That is not supposed that we don't do it in POC and MVP. POC and MVP we
Right.
may go with hardcore data and maybe very single, like clean data, but that data may
Right.
not be that type of environment. You will not be getting enterprise. That is the most challenging part. Now suppose you get past all those information, like you have other things like all requirement, you have access of the different team structure and all those part, like all databases and all those part, you start with that one. And now start with the stuff that you don't do with the POC and MVP. What, like your pipelining, like
Right.
most of the application when we go in enterprise doesn't goes into like on premise type of deployment. I mean generally if you are very like Meta, Google and all those, they have their own thing. But suppose you are like
Right.
you are in UI, and I am in NTT Data, like we work a certain cloud, AWS and GCP. After this how this pipeline will be clubbed together. And this is related to development. I'll come to the operation other part, like where customer get involved. And this is the part where most of people I see they are not aware. Like when we
Okay.
take interviews, and I get a lot of uh, like feedback from many people. Okay, we don't know how it works in enterprise. Somebody asked me what is sonar cube, how do you maintain quality gate. Somebody asked me how do you deploy into cloud. Okay, I mean, I get a lot of query. I used to, I mean, answer everyone. So this is the thing that you don't get into even startup. If you go, a lot of things got missed. So when you bundle
Right.
everything, push into the cloud and it works MVP, now everything works. Okay, later on we'll move to some other part. So that is the difference, you'll get it. And for every layer there will be one team involved. I
Right.
hope you agree with that. I mean, you did work
Right.
like to get into even one repo, we need to connect to different team, get approval.
Approval from different
So
stakeholders.
yes, and then you deploy to dev, that is fine, and all this production you need to get approval. Like all this part, you need to have production readiness and all those things. You need to show it all those parts. So it's not easy in production,
Right.
that you need to have all the sanity check in between, and that is required because you can't push anything in production and say later on it is someone else mistake. Okay, because maybe one mistake you cost one customer. I mean, even
Right.
if you are in consulting or service, you will be working for certain customer. I mean,
Right.
certain client. Client has their own
No.
customer.
Right.
So everywhere it is just like ultimately you are working for the customer. So all this process is built for that one. So enterprise is this way different than others. I
I
say it.
think while you were saying about startups, one more thing I observed is that startups are keen to taking risk of using tools that are newer in the market as compared to enterprise, because enterprise cannot take risk
Yes.
of using those tools which are new in the market.
Yes.
Because if this tool is, for example, let's say they change suddenly yeah, tomorrow, and enterprise has built something on top of it, then it is going to cost a lot for them.
Yes.
So enterprises generally prefer those tools which are already there in the market for a long time.
Yeah, it's not only like market is there in market. There many stuff is there, like collaboration with different vendor. Okay, like certain company prefer with Microsoft, certain company prefer with AWS. Okay, so they go with, because of their strategic alignment, they go
Right.
with that and discount and all those part. And after that there will be security approval. Security team also approve certain tools. Okay, if it is in internet, like it is going through web, so it should be approved by security. So there are many parameters where it is not easy. Like if you go to startup, you can take one tools and you can do, because you are into like a growth phase. But enterprise, they work for customer. Startup, you
Right.
work for yourself. Okay, your loss is your loss. Okay, but when you're working with an enterprise, uh, your loss is customer loss, and customer loss is big dent to another customer. Like it
Right.
is one customer is
Right.
always strategic to another customer. You use that example, that is
Yep.
failure or win. So that is how it is there. Okay.
Right. I think I was having this discussion yesterday. I was there at a event with a robotics company, and the company mentioned that every time they have some new deployment, they have to do a site readiness before doing any robotics automation there. Now, when it comes to GenAI application in enterprises, especially when building for clients,
Mm.
how do enterprises do readiness, whether the business is ready to adopt to GenAI, or will they be able to use that application at all? So, are there any parameters on the basis of which we decide whether the client actually needs an AI solution? And
Right now, I mean, it's very debatable field. I mean, debatable topic itself. Debatable field itself. It is there AI and Gen AI, because like what
yeah,
happened, you see most of the application right now in POC and MVP. Why it is there? Because client is not ready to pay right now. I mean, there should
right,
be
Okay.
one major parameter is your data security governance, like how your data is getting treated there. That is still confidence is not much there. Okay, even if you use VPC like virtual private cloud or on premise or your local LLM, whatever is there. Okay, but still doubt is
right,
still there in most of the places. Second thing, cost part. Cost is still not justifiable. Okay, Like everything is running on emotion, like emotion, like if I say okay agentic application means it's emotion because it's agentic. Right now everybody's talking about agentic, so it's emotion. I should also do with agentic. Okay, it's FOMO. So it is FOMO
Right.
generated market. When you do FOMO generated market, there is no parameter, only one parameter. You don't get into production unless you are very sure about that. But you build all this POC and MVP. That's why you see. I mean, I was reading one Deloitte report recently. They told around 80 to 90% are still. I mean, 30 to 40% is still not decided about agentic AI, and 80 to 90% still nothing is in production. 10% people are only in. I mean, they are using in production, and whatever you say
Right.
multi-agentic, that is not autonomous. I mean, if you say agentic, what is that? Autonomous agentic application.
Agents. Yeah.
It is more of like pipeline. You can say workflow, AI workflow.
Right.
Yes.
So that, I mean, why it is there? I'll just give an example. Software field was always like deterministic. I know if
Right.
X, I'll give X, I'll get Y, and if I'll get any deviation from that, I can fix those bugs. I mean, developer can fix those bugs, and I can get Y. There will be certain reason for getting Y. I mean, some different value apart from Y. So that can always be fixed. Whether
Right.
issue is complex, it will be complex engineering required, or it will be something some you but you know solution. But with the AI, you don't get that one. It is more of probabilistic. Okay, there could be Y1, Y2, Y3, and all thing can be right based on the context. And when you run it multiple times, you may get sometimes Y2, sometimes Y3, sometimes Y1. So
Right.
that probabilistic nature is the reason adaptability is also slow. You may be showing a lot of good thing in POC and MVP, but it goes into production with the big data and maybe some edge cases. You may get some wrong information. Anything goes wrong in AI, it is highlighted very widely everywhere. You might have seen a lot of
Yes.
issues where one Air
Right.
Canada somewhere they need to pay money
I
to
think,
customers.
yeah, when I think it was a report from Deloitte itself. Deloitte did a major, I think there's some issue with the Australian government, Canadian, I'm not sure.
Right.
Yes,
So they created
Australian.
an AI generated report.
yes, right. It happened.
Yeah.
So AI slop is everywhere. So thing is the reason because of that enterprise is having doubt adoption of this part, but there will be always process in anything related to AI. There will be AI governance. So enterprise, there is always one AI governance team will be there. If it is going into production, that should be validated from there in terms of
Right.
data securities and all those NFRs and other part that should be aligned with that. Then only it goes into production. Different company have different way to handle those things. I mean, not all company have right now foolproof governance, but
Right.
most of them are having, and because of that most of application is still in POC and MVP phase. Going into production requires a lot of this governance in place, ethical part,
Uh,
security part.
right.
Do
Is this
co-
also a reason that we cannot predict cost in AI application? Because let's say we have 10 users right now and we have, let's say, 100,000 tokens being generated. Now, if let's say five more customers are added, maybe tokens suddenly jump up and the cost suddenly increase so much that the cost estimation also fails. And
Yeah, I mean, I mean, partially agree with you. Uh, we can always predict cost if we know
okay,
like the way we set our things in configuration. Like, I mean, I don't want to go into detail part here. So suppose I'll give it like token always 1,000 token for any request coming. I'll take simple chatbot. Okay, I'll give request
okay,
and I expect 1,000 token only every time. So
okay.
every request you will always get 1,000 token. So for one user, 1,000 user, 1,000 into 1,000 at max, like worst case scenario, this much token will be used. This is the cost.
But does that mean that you are restricting user to only ask question within those 1,000
No,
tokens?
we are not restricting that one. We are restricting our application to get fit into that 1,000 token.
Okay,
Okay, see, suppose I built certain application. I know within 1,000 token. Like if you see, if you go to any story and all those things, there will be 5,000 words you can write, 5,000 character, 200
right.
right.
characters. So why they are giving it? Just to make system predictable. If they gave it indefinite, anybody can exploit it, or maybe valid case also. So if I
Right.
say like 1,000 tokens, we are not restricting user. We are making sure our application aligned with this 1,000 token. And if it is more than that, there's valid reason we should be increasing it to 1,500, and that's where cost will be there. And if suppose our application is supposed to be 1,500 token and I give 1,000 token, this is always like this case will always be some way, it will be caught by someone edge case. Okay, I am getting this partial response, I am getting not properly response because of this thing. So that should be increased. Okay, so they maybe in this cost scenario they can get this thing. So we can predict cost. Yes, when it is difficult to predict, when we use multi-agentic application, really multi-agentic application with all this reasoning loop. Suppose I'll give example. You have one react pattern running in your agentic application. One agent is calling to one tool, and it
Right.
calls that tool, get that information. That information may not be right for the agent, so it will again go to
Mm-hmm.
the second loop, correct it.
Right.
Your
Right.
react tool is there, you have a
Right.
response like all action, and all those part will be coming into picture. So that reasoning loop, you don't have control. Even there also you have a worst case scenario. Like suppose I give at max go 3 times this react or reflection. So this is the worst case scenario. Somebody will be using it, and I'll getting this cost, and this is what max cost will be getting it. So cost is one thing. One part I am agreeing with you. You don't know when cost will be increasing.
Right.
I mean, maybe vendor will increase after this is 1 million, 1 rupees. Maybe after that, 2 rupees. Okay, I'm just giving example.
Yep.
So that is the only unpredictable part.
Okay. Maybe, but I'll come back to the question again regarding the readiness of a business adopting GenAI.
Yes, yes, it is there. Okay, so suppose X is coming and they are asking it. I want to reduce my workload. Workload
Okay.
means you
Okay.
can think a different workforce. So I
Okay.
have
Okay.
10
Okay.
Okay.
people and I want to reduce it to 4 people. Okay. How can I use
Okay.
AI to reduce that one? So most of the places, I mean, this is again debatable and again, it's very controversial topic. So that's why I don't want to come into this part. But client is coming for three, four thing in their mind:
Mm-hmm.
increasing productivity.
Yeah.
And when we say increasing productivity, any automation comes to increase productivity to decrease your, your workforce.
Workforce.
Suppose, I mean, somebody is saying, okay, this month 10 developers were working, and they did certain fixes and all those development, and now I am using AI workflow for development
Right.
workflow, and now it reduced to the five. Now five developers comes. I mean, they can do it. They didn't reduce this one, but after 5 6 months, they may be five. Okay, for certain reason they will be having their own thing. So reducing workforce because of AI, they got it. So this is one of
Okay.
the primary criteria most of the company looking: productivity increase and your workforce reduction. And this all are like vice versa, these are related, interrelated. And any places where you can say reasoning is involved, and where human may not be that much of capability to do this thing, so that time they are coming with that one. But those complex cases required a lot of internal tooling, corrected. I mean, they are coming with feasibility. Okay, I have this much information, now I want to streamline with the AI. Many times they are coming because they heard AI. Okay, they heard agentic AI because it's easy to show. And if you don't show in your company, I mean, they are using certain things, they will be behind of all other people. Okay,
Yep.
you think it like OpenAI and Cloud has beaten Gemini, that I mean
All the
that
other.
time, and now
Yeah.
Google is coming up all this part, all this
Right.
promo. So they are doing all those stuff. So most of the time it is more of emotional things. Second thing, your productivity increase and reduction of stuff what they want using automation. This is the primary driver.
I think one question here among the different clients that you have experienced when it comes to use cases, like you mentioned, are they more focused on productivity kind of application or more on revenue driven application?
It is right now because everybody is confused. Okay, client is more confused, and when we say like they always come for the revenue, anything revenue,
Right.
but they when they come to AI team, so they will guide you to productivity increase because it's easy to do that one. So
Yeah.
when we say revenue part, how do you improve revenue with the AI? So suppose I am doing certain things automation part, and where I'm using certain human into that. Okay, maybe
Right.
I can say one example: 500K dollar. Somebody is getting $1 million for the L5 L6 in Meta and any other company.
Mm-hmm.
Now you want to remove that layer. So for that you need reasoning. Okay, same type of reasoning part. Now that reasoning part, if AI can do that one, they may do away with that one. You might have seen a lot of company right now, even Oracle and all those companies, they removed many people focusing in AI. So AI
Okay.
is used most of the places to reduce internal workforces right now. Best use of AI right now, most of company are doing it, finding it where is the leak in own organization
Right.
with their own data. With these leaks, how can I optimize this one so that productivity will increase, revenue will be increased because your manpower will be less, and because AI is predictable. I mean, I say like AI is you can give 1,000 requests, it will not say no. Okay, only cost, but it will not say no.
Yep.
Where human will be there, it will always be cost. It will be variable.
Yes.
Okay,
Right.
so again, if I'll say like very short, everybody is confused right now. Client is confused, AI company is confused, and lot of startups are coming because of that. A lot of startups are going away because of that. Because it's until you get money out of AI using AI, nobody will take it seriously.
Right.
So right now it's
Right.
running on emotion. Okay, and
Are people getting money from using AI?
people as an individual, you're saying
I mean, utilizing AI to
Yeah,
make money.
it
yeah,
is
utilizing AI to make money, especially companies, not individual person.
companies. I mean, still it is again, it is still not in that phase. So when you say a Gartner hype phase, so you are into hype phase. When you are into hype phase, things takes time to settle down. Like
Right.
when cloud started, nobody was taking seriously that time. Okay, a lot of I saw that many company were using on premise, but suddenly those who
Right.
were using it, they make it faster. They made it very faster development, delivery, and all those part. So that part will come
Right.
when things will settle down with this hype. When I say hype, if you say like simple work flow that is deterministic in nature, and somebody come and say I want to use as AI here, and I say AI people, I say I don't want to do that one, but client says okay, no, I want this AI. Okay, I want AI, so I'll use AI, but that is not a cost effective. It will give one word, okay, built with agentic AI, so that will give you visibility to all the forums and all the places, maybe strategic value, but not
Right.
money. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Uh, I think coming back to the question again, for example, the previous question about
Yeah,
the
sure.
readiness of a business. Let's say I have a some existing application. I had no control since then. Like I've never used AI so far. Now I'm coming for the first time. I have existing CRM or ERP system, for example, and now because of the hype, they said that we want to utilize AI.
Hmm.
So what is the first thought that comes into mind when you look at this client? I mean, they have never used AI so far, but they want to do that.
Okay, first thought will come like whether their system is their infrastructure is ready for AI or not. Like
Okay.
first thing
Okay.
I'll ask.
In terms of
Yeah.
infrastructure, what
So
exactly?
suppose you say like for the CRM, they want to come and they want to use AI to make it some workflow, so that using
Hmm.
this CRM, that CRM, everything, and they want to give it certain output, and that may be useful for productivity increase, or maybe some other assist to their own team, or maybe client and all those parts. Now,
Right.
whether these CRMs are accessible outside, or how you are going to use that data coming from that. That is the first thing. If they say, okay, we are having proper interfacing, we are having proper documentation and proper API call and all those part, we can use that one. We can get that information. We are okay with that. Okay. Second thing comes into
Okay.
picture, why they want to use AI. I mean, giving one suggestion, okay, whether we can use it simple workflow automation,
Right.
RPA, we can say.
RPA.
Okay,
Yep.
like simple RPA. This is one deterministic. I can use a simple tool after, I mean, software engineering, call tool, get the information, software engineering, call the tool, get the information, club it together, condense it and give it information back to the person who is using it and whether it is useful or not. If they say no, we need reasoning, we want to use this information to synthesize this information. Now, this is the
Right.
one factor where AI comes as a good part.
Right.
Synthesize part is not software engineering like fort, we can say. Even a person also having
Exactly.
different way to do synthesize. Okay, like suppose you say human involvement. So
Right.
wherever I say like I want to synthesize this information with this synthesize this thing, we need to get things done. The moment you say this thing, this is one AI use case. Now, when we come to AI use case, whether it is agentic, simple RAG, or deterministic like a workflow, that you need to decide. Okay, that it depends on like you give it option. Okay, I have this information like offline document. These documents are we are storing it using that document to retrieve when user query it and similar document, and we do synthesize and all those parts. So it becomes simple RAG application. Okay, maybe agentic RAG when you're using certain web or other tools calling and all those part. Second thing comes into like if they say like this, okay, if they say no, we want deterministic response. We have workflow, deterministic workflow. Now it's your job is much more easier. You can use workflow engine or maybe workflow framework. It again it is AI use case. I'm saying when client case become AI use case for you easily to say synthesize your workflow where it is connecting to different tools and all those part. And after that, when you do all this stuff, you have all this infra part, clearance and other part, security part. What is the governance they have it, ethical security and biases, another part like what all things are governance, AI governance, check up
Right.
in that
Yep.
whether they want to have POC or MVP or go want to go into production. Okay. So generally, any client comes, they don't come as a directly coming. I want this application that to be built and directly going into production. They say, okay, this is my intention, this is my requirement. You do feasibility study. Now with the feasibility study, I found this is AI use case, not like a hype one. We
Right.
know this is AI use case because of synthesis requirement. This has model requirement and all those part. With this, they say create POC. You show POC and they agreeing with that. Then comes MVP. MVP is still not so because MVP will be for internal audience, internal users,
Right.
company users, so it will be not so critical to security part. Now everything goes good and they have AI governance and check, I mean all this security team, red teaming. Okay, red teaming is one part,
Yes.
evaluation, your grounding. So when you go to enterprise, it doesn't close it like your toy application. You need to have
Okay.
proper evaluation, you need to have grounding data. Okay, how you are checking your data for drift and all those part. Okay, you have all the security measures like how it is, how different teams are checking it, I mean connecting it, whether your model is using external data or model is sending your data to external. That's why like VPC and everything comes into picture, na, cloud and all those parts. So whether
Right.
they are having this infrastructure ready or not, based on that you decide okay how much effort requires. Okay, they say we don't have anything. Okay, I have this thing in my mind and this is data, that data you can access it, you can suggest okay this is how you go, this is how we can go, we can follow agentic rack for certain use case for AI workflow, or maybe multi-agentic, because of this thing they want. They have appetite for doing this one. And you want to deploy this thing for in-house. If you don't have infrastructure, that should be in cloud. Whether do you have cloud for cloud access or not, they can always get at it. So this complexity of application increase based on the client
Uh,
requirement. So that's why, like,
right.
you're asking this thing. Always this readiness depends on client appetite, client current status of system, and how much they want to move from POC MVP or
Right.
this one. So I'll I'll give an example. Certain client I worked, they are very good into infrastructure part, cloud part,
Okay.
Okay.
everything set up. It's very easy for us. Like RAG application, it took around 4 months to go into production. I'm saying 2023 June.
Right.
Okay.
So for certain other client we work, like they don't have this thing. It went into POC and then died there because it was not approved for AI, because certain things came. All this lot of news came for this thing. So everything
Yeah.
goes into that one.
Maybe to follow up this question, have you seen any GenAI projects being failed in production?
It is not in production before that only. Okay,
Okay.
Okay.
before that,
Before going into
before
production.
going into production itself. If it goes into
So,
production, it will never, it hardly fails. Going into production enterprise is one of the difficult phase. So if
Right.
it fails into MVP, it never goes into that one because of it happened. So again, I can't name that one. It
Yeah.
happened because of cost reason, because of security reason, and the governance setup was not there and it was not approved.
Okay.
So using that things and with the data going into AI, even you are using eVPC, like inbound, outbound was even stopped, like it was restricted. No inbound
Right.
traffic, not outbound traffic. Everything was set up, but still saying it like it is going to cloud. So we don't want that one. And that data was
Okay.
critical for application. So it failed.
So in that case, is it not preferred to use on-prem models?
It is. But how many company have on-prem infrastructure?
Infrastructure,
Yeah.
yeah.
So AI is very fast-moving field. Like everybody is talking about SLM, small language model, and all those part.
Yep.
But I know how hard it is difficult to maintain. Like with all things moving, what you get in closed source GPT 5.2 came now, Google
Yes.
3,
right.
deep thinking, all those things. Can you get this thing SLM? But yes,
Nope.
certain
No.
use case, if you are into SLM, like a simple, your domain is very fixated and you know you can fine tune and make thing happen with that one, that is fine.
Right.
But if you're using for synthesis and you're using for some advanced analytics and all those part, SLM, I mean, you can do things, but it is always, you keep on investing in infrastructure, keep on doing things, that is not, I mean, you can't keep up with the closed source.
Right. I
Right.
think maybe another question. Have you experienced any fully autonomous application in production, or is it always with some human in the loop
it
with that?
it is always right now. I don't see anywhere any company, maybe other Meta, Google, they might be using it, but they try to use it, but a lot of controversy happened, so they stopped it earlier, long back. I
Right.
hope everybody is doing same, because when we go with the autonomous mode, it's very
Yep.
difficult to predict what may happen. Even you try to make things deterministic, you have all this failover mode, you have like kill switch, everything is there. Okay, something happened, just kill these things and all those part, but still something may happen for the customer that is not desirable. So that's why
Right.
this human in the loop is one of the important part, came into multi-agentic. I mean, you use agentic application, AI application as AI assist. So
Right.
Right.
I'll take example, like suppose I have an application, healthcare. Okay, now I assist all this information, synthesize with the agentic application and all those part, give it to the expert doctor. Okay, doctor utilize those information instead of going searching it internet and all those part, utilize that thing. So this is called AI assist. I mean agent assist. Agent assisted
Okay.
to the expert. Now expert is human. in the loop, uses that information, and after that they use that information and move to the next stage. Next stage maybe autonomous. Maybe I say 4 5 stages there. One stage is fully autonomous because there's less risk involved. Even if something happen,
Mhm.
we have kill switch or we have human in the loop also. Maybe your confidence level is very low, I'll go to the human. If not, go autonomous. But suppose report comes to the patient, I mean doctor, and doctor want to, I'm giving example of healthcare, doctor want to see information, you can't do autonomous part. Okay, so we have semi
Right.
autonomous system where needed, even for autonomous part when needed, go into human in the loop. If it is out of bound, then kill switch. And like everything, that's way, you can say, your AI application will be more successful, more utilized, you can say. Autonomous still I didn't see. If anybody is claiming, it is more of like POC, MVP, and again PowerPoint. So things.
Only exist in the slides.
Slides, okay. It may be for getting certain things, funding, and maybe some promotion or something. I don't know.
Now, I think a very good follow up to this question. If you were advising a CTO or some consultant of a company,
Hmm.
then what would you advise not to do when building enterprise applications?
First thing, so why
Right.
can't we build certain things with the software engineering? Why we need AI? Second things comes into picture, like why can't you use traditional ML? I
Okay.
mean, why can't we use like simple XGBoost? Why can't we use transformer based model or something simple model? So now second barrier is past. Okay. Third barrier is whether they want a simple chatbot. Like I have one AI in between, like LLM in between, request coming, LLM response between, before that pre-processing, post-processing, maybe LLM calling one tool to get that thing. You can say agent, single agent and all those part, but that's fine. Tool calling is not agent. Okay, LLM capability is there already.
Yes.
So we don't say it like agent. Agent is when there will be feedback loop, and there will be reasoning loop, and all things will be
Involved.
there. So why can't we do with this one simple architecture that is more deterministic than going into some other part? Okay, they say our requirement fit into that one.
Okay.
Then
Okay.
moving into like your RAG and all those part, if they need semantic information and all those things, so in that, if they want to use some agentic application, like maybe connecting to different tools, if RAG fails and all those parts, so maybe RAG, agentic RAG. Now moving ahead, okay, they want no, we don't want simple solution. That's the problem most of the places. Okay, everybody is coming, they want some complex things to show somewhere. Okay, slide and all those things. If you say chatbot, okay, everybody does chatbot. Okay, so what is the USP in this application? Even it is simple application that we can build it with the traditional ML. So okay, they say, okay, no, I want multi-agentic application because I am hearing it a lot, and I want that one because that is more of like it gives value everywhere. So we have given suggestion, this is the path. Now your application, maybe if he says we can fit into that application into which path it is there, okay, where it best fit. If it is not, they know, okay, this is what. Now still adamant going into multi-agentic, we go to multi-agentic. Okay, multi-agentic will be again deterministic, or you can say workflow, like calling it line graph or maybe crew AI and all those part, because coming from one node, that another node and all those part, maybe you can do parallelization, you can do sequence, that is fine. Okay, you can do a lot of stuff, but path is deterministic. But they say, okay, no, we want autonomous agentic application because that is having more value than anything else, and that shows our vision, our capability, and all strategic things in future. Okay, then
Yeah.
we say, okay, we can go with that one. It will be having this human in the loop. When it fails and all those part, wherever it is possible, we can make it autonomous. If it having less confidence, it goes to human in the loop. Maybe it may, if it is going very wide up like some dangerous path, then it can kill itself and do things. Okay, now they say, okay, we are okay with this one. So this is what, okay, client is always god for everyone, customer is always god for everyone. We suggest the path, but most of the time client comes, they don't want easy solution. Easy solution nobody likes, okay. So you have
Yeah.
one layer, you give it. So we suggest it honestly, but we build ultimately certain things that may not go into production because
Okay.
of
Okay.
all these things, okay. Ultimately production may it go, maybe some deterministic AI workflow. So this is
Okay.
how we suggest. I mean, when I worked most of the places, I suggest that path, but I know what I need to do it. Okay, what I'll be doing it. So this is always strategic
Okay.
thing client comes with.
Okay.
I was
So
reading a Reddit thread. Sorry, Sudhanshu, just
yeah.
to interrupt.
Yeah.
I was reading a Reddit thread by a guy, some engineer in the company, and just to show his work, what he did was he rewritten entire code
Yes,
from
I
one
heard.
language to another
Hmm.
language
Yeah.
because he had nothing to do and he had nothing to show. So he rewritten code from Java to Go,
Yes,
and then next year he got a promotion for that.
yes. So I mean, I should not say this one, but I'll tell you. Okay, uh, if somebody comes and say, I mean, I face this things a lot with the customer in airports, also every places. Okay, when you build things that's easy to operate, easy to work, they say, what is that in this? I mean, I'm literally saying one application that was very complex application, intelligence application I worked. And when customer, internal customer came and they say, okay, what is this? This is website, okay. So nobody knows what is going behind, a lot of things happening. It took around 4 or 5 months us to build this thing. So for them it's easy, it means doesn't have value. Those who know technical
Right.
part, for them it is valuable, complex, okay. So whom you want to satisfy, it depends on like all your appetite again. When you are into hype cycle most of the time, so when you are into hype cycle, you always try to soothe people with the complexity, okay, because that's what your you have USP, you have your like moat and all those part inside. So when you are alone, like when you started first, that time you can do experiment. Like chat GPT came, it was simple UI.
Right. Very simple.
No one was knowing what is going behind, lot of things happening, but it gave
Right.
access to everyone. You type something, you get response, very very simple thing. But
Right.
it was just like magic, okay. But if you do that thing for some other customer, they say, "Hey, what is that? A simple chatbot. Everybody's building chatbot. What is, I can build this thing with my team. Why I need your service? Like if you are into
Right.
service." So all those part.
So in general, what a Gen AI tech stack looks like today.
Okay. So I suggest everyone, okay, who is preparing for interview or working on that. First thing, you should always have one cloud experience. If you don't
Okay.
learn it, you don't need to learn everything. You can start at least one cloud, go into that and see their stack, okay. Maybe if you say they have their own vector database, it's fine, you use Superbase, you use PG Vector, you use Chroma DB for your all this thing. But when you are going working with the company, that time cloud become one of the part, like their own hosting thing, maybe function lambda, maybe Kubernetes will be there, okay. So you don't need to know details of those things like internals, but you know, okay, if I'm deploying my things, my backend where it is going, whether it is going as a as a service, simple cost per use type things, lambda and all those in AWS part or Azure function. It should be going to Kubernetes 24 into 7, Docker, okay, should be knowing Docker, Kubernetes, Git and all those parts. Simple software engineering. AI is since I work a lot in software engineering and I work a lot in AI part, so I can say AI right now is more of like software engineering plus your LLM and all those things that comes into picture. So cloud is one important part. One UI full stack, you should be knowing it. I suggest going into React because it is
Okay.
acceptable most of the places. If you know any other thing, that is fine. Streamlit is just for POC and all those part, but React has more of this thing.
Okay.
Knowing some DevOps pipeline, again, nothing should go into detail. Okay, and I mean your backend part is fine, but other part like knowing what is there, whether you're using GitHub Action or you're using Jenkins. I mean, I take a lot of interviews. People doesn't know even pipeline. What is their Jenkins? What is their GitHub Action? So I'm saying if
Okay.
you know, at least say okay, it will be easier for you. So this is what the software, regular software engineering, some quality gate, because you are writing backend code. You are not writing ML code there. Okay, you are not writing system as a machine learning model there. So backend code should have
Okay.
some unit testing and all those part, basic things, sanity check, so quality gate and all those part. And deployment, at least you know how it is getting deployed. Okay, I'm saying no, aware, you should be aware. Okay, I'm saying like whether to deploy with Terraform or cloud formation, some way it getting deployed there. And if
Right.
you are using cloud, what type of AI services you're using it. If AWS Bedrock is there, right now in agent they have agent core. Okay, I mean, you know these things will give confidence. Okay, at least you say okay, for agent we can use agent core or something and all those part. Same way Azure, Azure AI is there, OpenAI. So these all are real things, it is getting used. I'm not saying like saying it because these things exist. If you go for enterprise or any other company, most of the places some way other way, some other cloud or some other thing getting used. But UI, your backend Python, fast API, if you know, that will be helpful to you. Some Pydantic and stuff, your vector databases. If you know one vector database, how it is there, and your again, your embedding models, what all things are there, and LLM things. I mean, LLM simple call is there, and all this part is there.
Right. Maybe I think we're already ahead of time to end this conversation. I'll have a similar question, right, regarding based on all the skills that you mentioned. If you have to hire, let's say, a fresher and an experienced guy,
Hmm.
so how would you differentiate between that, and what skills would you look, especially when you categorize them?
So for the pressures, I always see as a logic, not a like syntax and other part or knowing tools. I'll try to see okay, if I'll give certain things and you need to build it, how you are going to proceed. Okay, how you are going to approach this
Okay.
problem, and what all things are there. Because phases are more of like your coding and all those part. Okay, I'm not saying lead code and all those part. Different company have their different structure, L1, L2, and all those part. But for fresher, it is more of like logic building and ready to learn and all those part. I'm seeing broader level. If
Okay.
you go to experience guys, so we'll always see whether the person has certain experience in certain things, what we are looking for and what he mentioned in resume. So it will be helpful to us, guide us also, like freshers also or juniors also. Suppose you say AWS requirement, he knows at least AWS part and he did work on certain things. So it will give scenario based question. Okay, this is what the requirement. Now give me like how you handle this thing in production, maybe when you're going to develop this thing. So differentiation will be that. I mean, major
All right.
broader level. Okay, not depth level. There will be different thing, but I see it more of like approach where person can answer question, then trapping them. I mean, you can trap anyone. If I want to trap highest, I mean, high IQ person also, I can trap with the question. But it is more of like we want fitment of the person, what we need, and that person is fit for that or not.